The last hope. The stars blurred outside the viewport as the UES Nemesis dropped out of hyperspace. At 2 kilometers long, the obsidian-hulled vessel represented humanity's final hope, or perhaps its most desperate gamble. Captain Maya Rodriguez stood on the command deck, her dark eyes reflecting the tactical displays that surrounded her. 3 years of running, hiding, and planning had led to this moment. "Stealth systems engaged, Captain," reported Lieutenant Commander Takashi. "The Krell detection grid hasn't registered our presence." Maya nodded, her expression betraying nothing of the storm inside her. The crew of 500 represented the best minds left from Earth's devastated defense forces. Each person aboard had lost everything when the Krell Armada descended upon the solar system 15 months ago. Each had volunteered knowing this mission might be one way. "Status report," Maya ordered, her voice calm despite the weight pressing down on her shoulders. Dr. Eliza Chen, chief scientist of Project Nemesis, approached the command station. Her eyes were rimmed with exhaustion, but a fierce determination burned within them. "The Singularity Core is stable, Captain. All simulations indicate it will perform as designed when activated." Maya studied the holographic projection of their target, the massive Krell battle fleet currently refueling in the Epsilon Eridani system. Nearly 300 warships, each larger than anything humanity had possessed before the invasion. One of 6 such fleets that had methodically reduced Earth's defenses to ashes, wiped out the lunar colonies, and bombarded the surface until nearly 2 billion people were dead. "They still think we're finished," Maya said quietly. "That's our only advantage." Commander Jackson, her XO, stood beside her. The prosthetic arm that replaced what he'd lost during the Battle of Mars gleamed under the bridge lights. "Intelligence from the Resistance confirms the Krell Supreme Commander is aboard the flagship. If we're going to strike, this is our moment." Maya closed her eyes briefly, remembering the green hills of her hometown in Argentina, now a radioactive wasteland. She thought of her family, her friends, all gone. The same story repeated 5 billion times across Earth's ravaged surface. "Begin approach vector," she ordered. "Maintain stealth protocols until we're within optimal range." The Nemesis moved silently through the void, its revolutionary hull absorbing rather than reflecting sensor suites. The ship represented humanity's greatest scientific achievement, built in secret beneath the ice of Europa, even as the rest of civilization burned. Its singularity core was theoretical until desperation made the impossible necessary. On the main view screen, the Krell fleet grew larger. Vast ships shaped like barbed arrowheads, their hulls adorned with the trophies of conquered worlds. Earth had been just another target for their expansionist empire, until they discovered humans didn't surrender like the other species they'd subjugated. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission," Takashi announced, surprise evident in his voice. "They've spotted us." Maya's breath caught. "How?" "Our stealth systems." "Functioning perfectly," Dr. Chen cut in, fingers flying across her console. "They shouldn't be able to detect us, unless—" The tactical display updated, revealing a small scout ship positioned where it couldn't possibly be by coincidence. "A trap." "On screen," Maya ordered. The view screen flickered, revealing a Krell commander. Its chitinous exoskeleton gleamed with ceremonial markings, 4 compound eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. The translator rendered its clicking speech into flat, emotionless English. "Unidentified human vessel. Your persistence is unexpected. Your species was granted mercy, the opportunity for survival under Krell guidance. You chose extinction instead." Maya stepped forward. "This is Captain Maya Rodriguez of the Earth United ship Nemesis. We're not here to negotiate." The Krell commander's mandibles twitched in what might have been amusement. "A single ship against our fleet. Your species' defiance exceeds even our estimations. It will make an interesting footnote in the archives." "You misunderstand," Maya replied calmly. "We're not here to fight your fleet. We're here to end it." The bridge fell silent as the transmission cut. Around them, the Krell fleet was coming alive, ships breaking formation and powering weapons. "They're deploying fighters and charging weapons," Jackson reported. Maya looked to Dr. Chen. "Is the Singularity Core ready?" Chen nodded grimly. "Yes, but remember, we've never field-tested it. The simulations suggest." "We're past simulations, Doctor," Maya interrupted. "Prepare to deploy the Singularity Field. Target their flagship first." Deep within the Nemesis, the Revolutionary Core began to hum. Not a conventional weapon, but something the galaxy had never seen before, born from humanity's desperate genius and forged in the crucible of extinction. "Singularity Core at 90% capacity," the ship's AI announced. "Field projectors aligned, awaiting final authorization." Maya thought of Earth, once blue and vibrant, now scared and burning. Of the billions dead and the millions hiding in the ruins. Of the promise they'd all made. Never again. "Let's give them a demonstration first," she said. "Target their lead destroyer with conventional weapons only." The Nemesis shuddered slightly as hypervelocity rounds accelerated to a significant fraction of light speed. The Krell destroyer, caught by surprise, didn't even have time to adjust its shields. The rounds tore through its hull, and the vessel erupted into a brilliant explosion. The remaining Krell ships converged on the Nemesis, energy weapons lancing across space. The human vessel's shields flared but held. "Shields at 75%, Jackson reported. "Their weapons are powerful, but our countermeasures are working as designed." "Singularity Core at full capacity," the AI announced. Maya took a deep breath. This was the moment humanity had sacrificed everything for. Deploy Singularity Field. Target their flagship only. The Nemesis's core channeled energy through specialized emitters. What emerged wasn't a beam or a projectile, but a distortion in the fabric of reality itself. On the view screen, the space around the Krell flagship began to warp. Light bent impossibly as a miniature singularity formed at the precise coordinates of the alien vessel. The Krell flagship didn't explode. It imploded, compressed into nothingness as fundamental forces were temporarily rewritten in that small pocket of space. Then, just as suddenly, the singularity collapsed in on itself, releasing a blinding flash of energy that washed over the surrounding ships. The bridge crew stared in stunned silence. They had seen the simulations, but witnessing it was different. "My God," someone whispered. The remaining Krell ships were backing away now, their organized formation dissolving into chaos. "Open a channel to all Krell vessels," Maya ordered. When she spoke again, her voice resonated with the collective rage and determination of a species that refused extinction. "This is Captain Rodriguez. What you just witnessed was the Singularity Field, a weapon that doesn't destroy matter but removes it from existence. We've constructed 5 more vessels like the Nemesis, each targeting one of your main fleets." This was a calculated lie. The Nemesis was unique, their only hope, but the Krell didn't know that. "Withdraw from Earth space immediately. Return our colonies. Release all human prisoners. You have 6 hours to comply, or we will target the remaining ships in this fleet, followed by your core worlds." The transmission cut off. Maya turned to Jackson. "Thoughts?" The commander's expression was grim. "They're arrogant, but they're not stupid. They just watched their flagship vanish from existence. The question is whether they'll retreat to regroup or—" "Captain," Takashi interrupted. "Multiple energy spikes across the fleet. They're preparing to fire." Maya's expression hardened. "So be it. Prepare for second deployment. Target the 3 largest cruisers." As the Nemesis core began charging again, an alert sounded from the communication station. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission from a different Krell vessel. It's their secondary command ship." On screen, a different Krell commander appeared. This one's exoskeleton bore fewer markings. A younger officer, perhaps. "Human vessel. We request cessation of hostilities. Our fleet commander acted without authorization from the Sovereign Nest. We are prepared to discuss your terms. Maya exchanged glances with Jackson. Could it be this easy? Or was this a delaying tactic? Prove it, she said simply. Recall your fighters and power down your weapons. All of them. Now. For several tense moments, nothing happened. Then Takashi reported, Captain, they're standing down. Weapon signatures decreasing across all vessels. A murmur ran through the bridge crew. Hope, disbelief, and caution mingled together. Maya kept her expression neutral. Maintained singularity core readiness. This isn't over yet. As the Krill fleet slowly powered down, the Nemesis stood vigil. Humanity's sword of Damocles suspended over those who had nearly wiped them from existence. The real battle, for Earth's future and humanity's place in the galaxy, was just beginning. The reckoning. The Nemesis hung in space, a silent sentinel against the backdrop of the Krill fleet. 6 hours had passed since Captain Maya Rodriguez had delivered her ultimatum. The alien armada remained in formation, weapons powered down, but tension filled the command deck of the human vessel. Status update, Maya demanded, her uniform crisp despite the 30 consecutive hours she'd been on duty. The Krell have maintained their position, Captain, Commander Jackson reported. No further communication since their request for negotiations. Their home fleet has been mobilized, but it's still 4 days out at their maximum FTL speed. Maya studied the tactical display. The standoff couldn't last forever. Every hour that passed was another hour for the Krell to analyze the singularity field, to potentially develop countermeasures, or worse, to call Maya's bluff about the non-existent sister ships to the Nemesis. Dr. Chen approached, datapad in hand. Captain, we've completed our post-deployment diagnostics. The singularity core is stable, but we detected some unexpected energy patterns during activation. Explain, Maya said, lowering her voice. Chen's expression was troubled. The field didn't just affect physical matter. There were consciousness imprints in the residual energy signature, almost as if the field was interacting with the Krell minds before their bodies were destroyed. A cold weight settled in Maya's stomach. She had prepared herself to kill, to watch alien ships explode knowing living beings were inside. That was war. But this was different. Are you saying our weapon affects their minds? I don't know yet, Chen admitted. But the readings suggest the singularity field creates a momentary bridge between our reality and somewhere else. Somewhere minds shouldn't go. Before Maya could respond, Lieutenant Takashi interrupted. Captain, we're receiving a transmission. Not from the Krell fleet. It's coming from their homeworld. On screen, Maya ordered, straightening her uniform. The view screen flickered to life, revealing not the chitinous exoskeleton of a Krell warrior, but a different alien form. This one's carapace was adorned with elaborate bioluminescent patterns, its compound eyes arranged in a more complex pattern. I am High Sovereign Vexkar of the Krell hegemony, the alien's translator rendered. To whom am I speaking? Maya stepped forward. Captain Maya Rodriguez of the Earth United Ship Nemesis, representing what remains of humanity after your unprovoked genocide. The High Sovereign's mandibles clicked rapidly, an expression unreadable to human eyes, a regrettable misunderstanding. Our domain expansion fleet exceeded its authority in the subjugation protocols applied to your world. Misunderstanding. Maya's voice was dangerously quiet. 2 billion dead is not a misunderstanding. Nevertheless, the Sovereign continued, we recognize the unique capabilities of your vessel. The hegemony proposes an immediate cessation of hostilities and withdrawal of all Krell forces from your territories. Maya exchanged glances with Jackson. This was what they wanted, more than they could have hoped for, yet suspicion gnawed at her. And what do you expect in return? The technical specifications of your singularity weapon, the Sovereign stated bluntly. Such technology would benefit all spacefaring species. A hollow laugh escaped Maya's lips. So you can build your own and return to finish what you started. I think not. The alien's posture stiffened. Then perhaps a demonstration of our own technological superiority will clarify your position. Behold, the transmission split to show a feed from somewhere in Earth's solar system. Maya's heart froze as she recognized the ruined outline of humanity's home planet, and the massive Krell warships still in orbit. You thought we committed our entire fleet to your subjugation. The Sovereign's voice carried what might have been amusement. We left a sufficient force to maintain control. One word from me, and your planet becomes completely uninhabitable, rather than merely damaged. The bridge fell silent. Maya felt the weight of Earth's remaining population, 3 billion souls, pressing down on her. You have 6 hours to transmit your weapon specifications, the Sovereign concluded, or witness the final extinction of your species. The screen went dark. Maya stood motionless, the implications crashing over her like a wave. They're bluffing, Jackson said quietly. They wouldn't destroy a resource-rich world. Can we be certain? Maya asked, her voice hollow. Their psychology isn't human. Maybe they would rather obliterate Earth than admit defeat. Dr. Chen stepped forward. Captain, there's another option. The singularity core can be modified to create a much larger field effect. Theoretically, we could target the Krell homeworld from here. Maya stared at the scientist. You're suggesting we destroy their entire planet. Billions of civilians. They would do the same to us, Chen replied, her eyes haunted. They'd already tried. Maya turned away, facing the view screen where the Krell fleet still waited. Prepare a course for Earth. Maximum speed. Captain, Jackson questioned. If they're threatening Earth, that's where we need to be. And if they're bluffing, bringing the Nemesis to our home system forces them to show their hand. The journey back to Earth would take 18 hours at maximum FTL, well past the Sovereign's deadline. It was a gamble, but Maya saw no alternative. As the Nemesis prepared to jump, an alert sounded from the communication station. Captain, we're receiving transmissions from multiple sources, Takeshi reported, confusion evident in his voice. They're not Krell. The view screen flickered, displaying a collage of different alien species, some vaguely humanoid, others wildly different in form. Each spoke in turn, their words translated into English. The collective harmony stands with humanity. The Solarian Republic acknowledges your right to exist. The Dreaming Nebula extends protection to Earth and all human colonies. Maya stared in disbelief as more messages poured in. Jackson moved to her side. What is this? She whispered. The Krell hegemony has dominated this sector for centuries, he explained. These must be other subjugated species, or those who've been forced into unequal treaties. They've been watching, waiting for someone to successfully stand against the Krell. One final transmission came through, a sleek, crystalline being whose body seemed partially translucent. I am Ambassador Xil of the Galactic Concord. The Krell deception regarding your world has been exposed. Our monitoring stations confirm no Krell vessels remain in your home system. They withdrew hours after your demonstration of the singularity weapon. Your species has been unknowingly fighting a proxy war that many of us have wished to engage in for generations. The Concord formally invites humanity to join our alliance. Maya felt lightheaded. In the span of hours, humanity had gone from facing extinction to being courted by a galactic alliance. The Krell lied about having ships at Earth, she realized aloud. A desperate gambit, Jackson agreed. They fear what you'll do next. Maya turned to Dr. Chen. Is it possible to modify the singularity field to work as a defensive measure, something that could protect Earth without obliterating entire planets? Chen considered this. Possibly. The field could be calibrated to disrupt weapon systems rather than matter itself. It would take time, but then that's our priority, Maya decided. She turned back to the communications array. Ambassador Xil, humanity acknowledges the Concord's invitation. Before we can discuss terms, we need guarantees of Earth's security and the return of all human prisoners. Already underway, Captain Rodriguez, the crystalline being replied. The Krell are withdrawing from all human territories as we speak. Their sovereign has requested direct negotiations with you, the first time in recorded history they have treated with a species as equals. Maya thought of the billions dead, of the ruined Earth, of all that had been lost. Revenge would be simple. The Nemesis had the power to inflict it. But survival, rebuilding, finding humanity's place among the stars, that was the harder path, the better one. Tell the sovereign I'll meet them, on Earth, where they can see firsthand what they've done to our world. As the Nemesis altered course back toward the Krell fleet, Maya stepped away from the command station. For the first time in 3 years, she allowed herself to feel something beyond rage and determination, a cautious, fragile hope. The Singularity Core hummed beneath her feet, a reminder of humanity's capacity for both creation and destruction. In their darkest hour, they had built something the galaxy had never seen before. Now, perhaps, they could build something else, a future. The Nemesis moved forward, no longer humanity's last hope, but its first ambassador, carrying the weight of a species that had stared into the abyss of extinction and forced the universe to blink first.